This video will examine what a constitution is and contrast the two main types of constitutions. Now, what is a constitution? A constitution can perhaps be well defined by the social contract theory as put forward by John Locke and Thomas Hobbes. This theory says that we enter a social contract where we give up some of our free will, as we're no longer allowed to do certain things, but as people can't do certain things, for example stealing or murdering, then everybody's life is bettered by this social contract. So a constitution is generally a set of key fundamental rules and principles. There are two main types of constitutions. A codified constitution is generally written in a single document titled the Constitution. This is the most popular style, and the most prominent example would be the American Constitution. An uncodified constitution is a constitution that is written but not in one single document called the Constitution. This is practiced by the following countries: the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Canada, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. Now, to contrast the two styles, a codified constitution is seen as certain because the constitution is supreme, but it can then be seen as rigid and entrenched, unable to change. An uncodified constitution is often seen as flexible, and there is no special process to change it because it is just ordinary law. But this can lead it to be changed easily, leading to uncertainty, and the individual rights are not as well protected as they could be changed very simply. To put this through an academic contrast, Vernon Bogdanor creates a tennis club example to criticise an uncodified constitution. His lecture will be linked below. Now, briefly, his tennis club example is, if you were to join a tennis club, you would want to know what the rules were, when you had to pay your monthly, if you had a monthly subscription or weekly, all those various things. If you were told that there were no rules, but there were sort of rules that everybody understood, but there wasn't a set of rules, that wouldn't really function. So why should it function when running a country? A.V. Dicey is an anti-codified academic. He's a UK constitutional writer, and in the context of the UK, argues that it infringes the power or the sovereignty of Parliament, and again, I will link his work down below. Finally, I would just like to use a recent example to contrast which constitution is more flexible. The key issue in this example is abortion. Now, in Ireland, they have a codified constitution, but they voted by public referendum in 2018 to legalise abortion. Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom and so has an uncodified constitution, but all attempts to reform abortion law have failed. This can be perhaps viewed as a contrast between the flexibility or rigidness of a constitution really depends on the mood of the electorate or the politicians.